Welcome back to our stage here, industry stage in Hall 11 D72. Welcome back to our live stream and welcome back here, the audience at our booth. I'm very happy that you are here with me again at our AM panel, International Insights and Partner Countries. And I'm very happy that I could collect all 3 partner countries, the representatives here on stage. I'm very happy that you're with me. Frank Rosengreen, Lorentzen, he's CEO of Danish AM Hub. Etu Holstein, he is from ecosystem, he's from DIMEC and he's their ecosystem lead, and some people will better know FAME, the Finnish Additive Manufacturing Ecosystem, and Jan Tore Usken, he's manager Norwegian Additive Manufacturing Cluster. It's good to have you here, Jan Tore, Etu and Frank. So yeah, getting into the topic, you've been here quite a time. So what about the exhibition? How does it feel to be here in Germany?
It feels great. There are really a lot of companies. So when you're from a rather small country and you come here and you see there's I think more than 800 exhibitors at Formnext, it's just amazing. With both the speed of the technology, the volume of the technology, and also actually the muscle power that is there now to take the next steps within AM.
Sascha Wenzler mentioned we have so much exhibitors as compared to 2019. Yeah. So that's quite a good number, I imagine. Etu, you have a strong AM network in Finland too. Can you give us some insights about your market structure? How many companies are busy with AM in Finland?
Well, yeah, we have, as also Denmark, Finland, it is a rather small country, small population, but still I think we have quite a large number of companies utilizing additive manufacturing and metal additive manufacturing already. For example, in the ecosystem we have 52 members, which is, in my opinion, pretty good number for such a small country. We have quite many service providers, as you can see here today. There are several from Finland showing what they have to offer. So compared to many other countries, we have, I would say, a little bit over than 10 service providers in Finland, which is quite a good number in my opinion.
And what about the process chain? Do you cover in Finland the whole process chain, or do you have some points where where are you stronger than others?
I think we can cover the whole. We call it value chain, as we have some showcases at the Nordic pavilion to be shown. That where we have in Finland we have designed, manufactured, and tested the whole part, which is something that we can solve many problems with that, and by helping each other's companies together solving problems, so we can cover the whole value chain.
Okay, Jan, what is give us some insights from Norway. What about your AM community?
Norway is, they've written an article here in Metal AM magazine, Metal AM the Norwegian way. And it's a 15-page article about how slow Norway is. But it says slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, but we're
coming from behind, and then coming fast.
We got in many ways we're lagging a lot behind. We don't got many AM startups, and we got some traditional industry, and some of the industry, maybe especially maybe the energy businesses, they're very traditional in the way they're doing things. Maybe done it for 40 years, but they can't have the downtime, so they continue on doing it. But there's a lot of good initiatives coming out, and but that's why we started up the Norwegian AM, or the Norwegian Additive Manufacturing Cluster.
Yeah. Do you have an idea why it is so? Why the Norwegian business is not so welcoming the AM technology? Is it that are you lacking the right industry sectors, or for example, you have a lot of marine business over there, and I could imagine that additive manufacturing brings value to that industry sector as well.
Additive manufacturing is actually perfect for Norway because we're also a small country. We don't got, I think we got about a little bit more than 5 million people there, but the AM suits Norway so perfectly because we got the low manning, but we got a high competence in things. So.
And if you to bring some products along your country, you have to drive hours and hours. So it would be perfect to install a 3D printer somewhere and to just send the SDF file.
Yeah, and we see a lot of good initiatives there, and there's a lot of lead time. And what the Norwegian industry is having issues with is that we haven't gotten over COVID yet with the logistics. And then we get war in Europe, in the Middle East, and we got the overhang of the global climate crisis. And when you get lead time of maybe 8 to 10 months on just a simple spare part, AM fits that perfectly. So we have the oil company or energy company Equinor, for example, just by printing out one nylon screw out of a mini factory, like a container outside their base, they saved 100 million kroner a year, which would be a little less than 10 million euros. Yeah.
Well, that's quite a number. But so Formnext is the right place for you to be, and the stage is the right place for you to be, to get the business running and to get more and more companies interested in Norwegian solutions, I think, or in the Norwegian market.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's so inspiring to be here. And we've got such a good welcome from Sasha Wenzler and his team around here. So we really appreciate being the official partner region of Formnext this year.
Frank, you founded Danish AM Hub some years, I think 4 years ago. Where are you now? How many companies do you collect in your hub?
Yeah, so actually it was the industry foundation that founded Danish AM Hub, and I became CEO 4 years ago. At that time, we were a lot focused on getting the technology out there in Danish industry, because that was really a limitation in our own ecosystem. We also asked ourselves the question, well, would we be any happier if every production company had a printer? And probably we wouldn't be any happier or feel better. So we thought, well, maybe the task is to figure out how can we create better, more sustainable parts and products with this technology. After all, a critique you often hear, which I really hate because I'm part of the family, is that AM is a technology that hasn't found its real problem yet. Because you can do anything, right? You can produce anything with the traditional methods. So why would you print something? Because every time you print something, it's more expensive. So we turned that a little bit around and focused on, maybe it's not about printing a shoe, because essentially, if you don't know where you're running, it doesn't matter how fast you run. So we need to essentially do something that is much more around data, much more around documentation of the technology. And we've built a CO2 calculator together with our partners in Denmark. Danish AM Hub has around 100 partners. That is both some of the 20 really large producers that we have in Denmark, like Lego, Novo Nordisk, Grundfos, Danfoss. It's 20 of our AM startups that we call them, so startups that use AM as the core method in their business model. It's developers, so we're so happy that we have 4 AM companies here with us in Frankfurt also. And then there's also the backbone of Danish industry, like in every industrial nation. You have the small and medium-sized enterprises that typically have found a niche where they are really, really, really skilled, but also where if they look to this fantastic technology, they could create stellar value. So these categories of companies we work with and have kind of just dropped the CO2 calculator together with them in there and are seeing fantastic cases these days that we've also brought down here to the Nordic Pavilion. So it could be an upright for a car that we know now is 200% less CO2 emitting when we take that into the print process. Obviously, it's geometrically difficult components or active components where we can see these huge savings of emissions. We also see that if you print a part that is injection molded and not really tricky, you typically go the other way. So it is that knowledge that we want to help with in our foundation in Danish AM Hub and Danish industry.
And that is the knowledge you bring with you when you come here to Frankfurt to Formnext and be a partner for other companies who are interested in it and working together with you, I think.
Yeah.
But the CO2 calculator is a very good buzzword for me. I personally would find it very difficult to choose a partner country, especially with a network as international as Formnext. Formnext is very internationally a network, the family you mentioned. But we have something, we have a word here with us. Let's hear what Sascha Wenzler, he's the Vice President of Formnext, has to say about the selection criteria of you three of this year's partner country.
The Nordic region is perfect for us this year because it deals with the meta topic of sustainability since many years, all of them cooperating together in this topic and all of them being 2-3 steps ahead of us, even in Germany.
So 2-3 steps ahead, that's quite a quote, isn't it?
Yeah. I won't say that I agree. Sascha has told me that, and I think it's both a huge compliment, but it also tells us that we're on a path where we do need to do much more, both in our partner regions, but also with this fantastic ecosystem that Formnext and the team has built, Sascha and the team, because it's really good that we can have more sustainable parts and components in the calculator in Denmark. But imagine one time if we could get 800 companies down here in Germany also to look at that and also to invest in it and also to drive that mission of AM for sustainability forward.
But it's open. Really but it's open for other companies, so they can have access, and you will share the knowledge.
It will be, and obviously there are also AM hardware and software providers out there that are doing their own methods and tools. So I'm really happy about that. As a philanthropical foundation, we have one mission, and that's to share our knowledge and to cooperate. So anyone who has ideas, inputs, wants to know more, please reach out to us.
Yeah, you will be on stage on that topic
yes,
again. When will be your slot? The sustainability slot?
Yes, it's at 4, and I have with me in the panel the Lego Group, and also Grundfos and also Danfoss.
And so there you will dive deeper into the topic of your calculator. Let's go to Finland in questions of sustainability. What when you hear Sascha saying something like that, does it feel good or the same as Frank said?
No, I mean, as Frank said, that it's a compliment that really needs to. I appreciate Sascha's comment there because. How I see it is we need to be forerunners in some terms, and I think at Denmark you've done an amazing job with the CO2 calculator, putting the things or numbers on the sheet to show really that you can talk about sustainability endlessly, but you need to have the concrete examples. As we are also starting to have those examples in Finland, and we try to bring the numbers to be seen by the people. And that many times at the moment, in many cases, the companies are choosing the manufacturing method according to price of the component, when it should be so that that's a one factor. But sustainability, if you can decrease your carbon footprint, the sustainability should be definitely one factor when choosing. And reflecting what Jan Ture said about the supply chain and how you can manufacture locally and shorten the supply chain. For example, replacing the molds ordered from India or China. If you can manufacture them close by your site or your customer locally, that has a huge effect.
So which aspect would be the most important when looking at sustainability? Sustainability is a broad buzzword, let's say. And if you dive deeper, is it the energy effect, the effect on CO2, or the effect in not using the subtractive methods where you lose a lot of material, just producing the material you need, and to recycle a lot of pulver and a lot of material into the process? Which one would be most important for you?
All of the things you said are important, and I would add there also the equal rights and equal working conditions are also part of sustainability, not just the environmental aspects. Those are important for sure, but it's really a tricky question or hard question to answer, which is the most important part. But of course, as we are dealing with climate change, we need to decrease the carbon footprint, so that's important from my opinion.
Can you share an impression about the Finnish companies? Where are they in that game of sustainability? Do you get are they in marketing and pronouncing the one or the other aspect, or is it just a black box for you?
I think there are, in a lot of especially larger company strategies, the sustainability is in a major role. And of course, we as an ecosystem, we try to distribute knowledge of that. And what we are working at the moment is that how we can really implement the sustainable additive manufacturing as a part of any company's process in a way that they can see a benefit and utilize that, because it's something that, as I said, can bring the benefit in terms of sustainability for the product. So it's important topic, and it's in many companies' strategy, and especially the bigger companies, and we are trying to distribute that information to SME companies as well.
Mm-hmm. When we talked earlier, you had a very long list prepared with applications from additive manufacturing in Finland. We cannot go through all of them because
I would like to.
Yeah, I too. But we just have half an hour or something, so it's really a lot. But I picked one which fits to the aspect of sustainability, and that's a spare part. So there is a company who is producing spare parts with additive manufacturing. Would you share that example with us, please?
Yeah, that was a great example. Actually, it's a company which is not manufacturing only spare parts, but spare parts for their products.
Okay.
And there they originally had ordered the mold, and that particular part wears from the certain location. And then they used wire arc additive manufacturing to repair the case. So they could decrease the carbon footprint according to life cycle assessment by 90%. The costs went down around 80%, and also the waste material was reduced 98%, because you don't need to order the whole. It's a big part, so you don't need to order the whole part again to the site, but you can really repair that with wire arc additive manufacturing. So those kind of attitude changes, we need to think again that we need to invest that to learn that new technology and how we can use that in an efficient way, like in this case. So I think that's one important thing.
One good example.
Yeah, and it needs a lot of education and training, as I guess what we talked earlier with Danish AM Hub and Norwegian AM, that the training and education and educating the companies is really big role in this whole area, and really to try to engineers and companies, but individuals, to think differently and really think that not just to think if I can reproduce that part with additive manufacturing, but how can I really solve a problem and bring added value to my product with additive manufacturing?
Mm-hmm. Jan Tore, talking about sustainability and Norway, would it be? Is it a topic in Norway first of all?
Yeah, definitely. What we have today is an over-globalized logistic, and a lot of the things costing both time and money, and like making a big carbon print is the logistics. So, but it's like a what we call in Norway a Kinder egg. Has AM has everything in there to make it good. Yeah, but it's everything from like up to 90% less material use to the benefits of complex designs. Yeah.
Yeah, would be the answer for the Norwegian market, but for all markets, the German, Europe, for everyone, that we should invest more into marketing to bring the advantages in terms of sustainability to the end users, to the industrial end users, because the companies will have to cover will have to show their carbon footprint from the whole production, from the whole supply chain they have, and there will be additive manufacturing a real good answer, I think. But is it really clear to everybody out there? Frank?
No, I don't think so. And so I've been here almost every year, right, in Frankfurt at Formnext this time, and a colleague told me that it's going to Formnext is a little bit like Christmas. It's dark and it's cold and you never get what you really want. That's also a little bit like I have it when I'm here, because I don't think that it's marketing, because I can see on the signs everywhere that we can be your sustainable print partner, and if you want to print sustainable. So I'm thinking, show me the data, show me how, prove it. Get it relative to a traditional method, show it to relative to another system, but show us the proof.
Why do we don't have the proof? Is it too complex to provide it?
Yeah,
do we need software or tools to provide it?
Yes, for sure. There's a lot. That would be a really good way forward. It's also kind of my feeling is that there is a bit of interlocking in the industry here, right? Because you typically have had the problem that a system has a material, and then that is locked. And then they calculate their system and their material, and then that's that. And that's why we as a philanthropical foundation, we can go into this area without any commercial interests. And that has really created a new kind of discussion in Denmark, where, well, if you have better data, then let's use that data. Or if you think there are some problems, then let's look at that. So I think we can definitely do more also incorporating between countries here, with this partnership also, because we just need one set of tools in the right way. So if we have one calculator that we all agree that must be the one, then let's work on getting the CO2 emissions away, right?
So would it be a question of an international certification, or better standardization?
Completely. It's for me. It's a no-brainer. But I'm not a politician. But it's if you can do it on refrigerators and washing machines, well, why can't you do it on printers, right? Probably some in this room will be shocked hearing this, but I think it will come at some point. So if I am a software or hardware provider within this industry, I might already get ready for it.
VDMA, the machine association in Germany, they say it will not work because the machines are too complex. The materials you process on the machine is too complex. The usage differs so much, even if you use the same machine. So it will not work totally. But on the other hand, we have a lot of standardization in industry. Everywhere you look, you have standard. We talked about this morning about cybersecurity, and there you have standardization. So why not in that aspect of sustainability?
Exactly. And often when I hear it's too complex, when it comes to CO2 emissions and the planet, it is complex, but we can do it. Mm-hmm. We can do it on printers, we can do it on software, we can do it on washing machines. We can deliver that data.
Eto, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I completely agree with Frank, and I think like we need examples also to the use cases and show the numbers behind them, and that other companies can relate on them and see that okay, they choose AM in this case and they reach this benefit, and it really has the impact on the environment and the whole sustainability area. So those kind of examples we need there, and yeah, also agree on that if everyone is developing their own systems to calculate, and if they are not taking into account the same things, and everyone just gets a different answer for the question of the CO2 emissions, for example. So we need to somehow unify that information, and I think there is a great opportunity also in collaboration, what has been done in Denmark, what has been done in Finland, Norway, other countries. There are companies developing only the calculators, so let's put our hands together, or let's work on that thing together, really, because that's the key for success.
Jan, the aspect of standardization, what's your opinion?
On standardization?
On standardization, yeah.
Yeah.
Standardization of the sustainability aspect.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's a great initiative by the Danish AM Hub, what they've done with the CO2 calculator. So,
but it's not the first step. Is it the first step into a standardization process? I think it's just a helping tool for companies.
Okay, yeah.
But what I'm just talking about IEEE. So
Yeah.
IEEE standardization, something like that. That you really have to follow precise processes when producing a machine or when processing a machine.
Yeah. We're not so much into that yet by the standardization there. No.
So what would it be a aspect we want to have in future? So we would put together the right people to do it, or
sustainability will has and will be in the future like the core in a way that the way you compete with other companies. So if you have sustainability, better sustainability, you will be chosen before other companies. But regarding standardization, no, we haven't worked so much with this. But we're also a really new organization. So we started up last year. The first thing we did, called Danish AM Hub, and asked them, how did you do this? So we opened up for memberships only October last year, and only 41 members at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. But Frank, you wanted to add something.
Yeah, but I see it a little bit like two separate things that are equally important, because the standardization will come and has to happen in the industry, period. But on the other side, you have a technology that is ever evolving with a huge amount of innovation. Just going around there are new technologies that I haven't seen, right? And it's each year it moves. And we shouldn't do standardization where we stifle the innovation within the technology.
Okay.
And that's the dilemma that you're always looking at. But that standardization will move ahead, and there will also be within the industry much more consolidation in the future.
Okay, I compared with the standardization process in 5G technology. So totally different area, and there companies came together and said, before we are working on the standardization, we as the end user from the industry sector tell you standardizers what we need and what our use cases are, that we get the right aspects and the right content into the standards, that we can have a use when we have the standards and the technology is there, the chips are there, and so on and so on. Then that we can work with it, and so that it's not even a parallel process. It's an advanced process. They are 2-3 steps ahead of the real technology. And we are talking about being with the standardization 2-3 steps behind our technology, and that is the aspect I wanted
the other way around,
to sort out. And who is the right person, who is the right organization to get that assembled and to get that forward?
Yeah, that's probably at European level, right, to begin with. But you're right. You're right that to pull the standardization instead of pushing it might make sense here.
Yeah. So it's all about getting the right people together, and if it makes sense, and if it's not a break for the development, but it's a push for the development, because we get faster into the doing, into the companies and into the processes, then it would be a good thing.
I would still argue that for all the great AM companies that are here, that they don't wait for the European Commission to take an initiative here, because that might take some time, and at least go ahead with knowing their own data and processes, their energy consumption, etc., and also be a little bit open with that. Because we will measure it in other projects or in Danish industry, and then it will flow up to our calculator anyway. So I think it's back to the point of getting ready for a legal framework that will only be more towards a greener world, right, and transition. And there I also see a gigantic advantage with us three here representing the Scandinavian countries, is we have a little magic thing, which is green energy. And if you look at just October month, we had in Denmark 85% of our energy was from renewable energy sources. So if you want to print something, typically the Achilles heel is that you need more energy per part, right? Because it just takes you some time and energy. Maybe I should look to the Scandinavian countries where those green energy sources are, so I'll get my CO2 emissions on my parts, components and products down.
That's a good buzzword for... You want to add something?
We had our first national conference in March, and one of the professors was up on stage there showing a map of how many grams of CO2 or the footprint, the carbon footprint of power production, and our power production was like down to 0.26 grams, being like the greenest energy, among the greenest energy suppliers in the world. So the professor said that actually all products for the whole world should be printed in Norway and shipped out with a better CO2 footprint.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
There's some business.
For a good business case. Yeah. But we have some video brought with us, because we had the aspect of what do the people think about Norwegian, Finland and Denmark, and why working together with them. I don't know what we have right now. Maybe it's a point of sustainability, like Sascha Wenzler said, but maybe there are different points. Please give us the video.
And I was just curious because I was at the panel this morning and they talked about the sustainability of the Nordic 3D AM initiatives, and I was just curious. It's really amazing what you're doing. I wasn't aware that there was like such an initiative with sustainability. Sustainability was quite of the main issue. The people are more conscious about how they impact the environment, and that's actually, I think that's a key factor for the future.
Most of our partners are from this region, and we have some customers from the Nordic region as well. So it makes sense for us to connect with people from that region, so we can support them and work better.
We just want to continue expand our partnerships, our clients here. So we're just walking the show, trying to meet different people, different companies. I think there's plenty of room to continue developing new products on the market that could be customized using additive manufacturing. But also there's plenty of place for service bureaus over there. I think we have some customers that are still printing in Germany and France, but could have some partners over there in Scandinavia.
Yeah. So again, sustainability, the right first one, and the last one, getting partners. And I think that's all about, for sure, the exhibition is all about getting partners, and that you are here with me on stage and showcasing. By the way, the Nordic pavilion is right next to our booth here, just for you in the hall. One step aside, and you can see and touch what you brought with you here to Frankfurt. Yeah, one short sentence, one last sentence. What are you going to do? Which partner will you find? Where are you looking for?
Yeah, so we are looking at specifically large AM providers here that will help us both qualify the calculating tool, help us on the data side, on the input data side, but also be willing to put a system a little bit up north to Denmark, so that we can do projects together with our really great producers.
Okay.
And have a look at, is it better in terms of sustainability and AM?
Okay, Etu, short answer.
Yeah, so as we have few showcases there where we have designed, manufactured and tested high quality components, and we are open for discussions of those.
There we can find you.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about Norwegian? What is the most interesting aspect you want to discover now?
Inspiration, but also bring a lot of the know-how of the technology and inspiration back to Norway. But also serving a lot of members of our cluster that are here attending the Formnext. Yeah.
And available for discussions and new solutions, maybe in sustainability, maybe in other aspects. Yeah. Thank you very much for having you here on stage, for your insights. And yeah, thank you very much here, the audience, and thank you very much out there in the live stream. We are very happy to have you here. Next here on stage will be new expert insights. Stay tuned.